tell my dad, but he was right.
Howdy folks, and welcome back to No Guarantees. In this week's episode, I go over how I painted this Jeep for $80 and the red one finally gets a 383 stroke rating. Let's get started. Now that I've successfully fumigated the garage with the Land Cruiser's exhaust, I can get this cherry picker on here, pull the engine out, and I gotta try to make this quick because I'm working from home today and I'm on my lunch break. Haha! I remembered the other thing I learned last time. I just have to pick the engine up a lot higher, and then I can just pick the entire engine stand up, slide that on, and then drop the whole thing down. That's what I did last time, and it made it way easier, so I'm going to do that again. Haha! Boom! Alright. Now, I'm going to pull you guys over here. We can take a look at everything we've got going on. I'll talk about my plans for the engine, all the things I'm going to bolt to it, my paint scheme, which I think you guys are all going to like. And then I'll go run outside real quick, show you guys the green Jeep, everything I've done to that, what my plans are for the future with that. And then on the episode. Let you guys have a great rest of your day. Alright, I'm down to the last two bolts. I decided to turn the camera back on for these two so that when I pull the pan off, and we see that it's dropped a piston, we can find out together. All right. Okay. Oh no! Stay. Okay. Let's see, what are we looking at? 2-bolt main. I figured some sort of aftermarket oil pump, which I also figured due to the deep pan. Pistons look shiny. Not that that really means anything. I'm going to try to get a casting number off of the crank and hopefully one off of the pistons. Ooh, there's something on the crank. Let me get a couple rags, clean this up a little bit, see what I'm working with here. I'll probably also try to get a part number off the oil pump. Yeah, pistons all look like they're there, so that's a good start. That is a good start. Yeah, I'm gonna write down some numbers and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, here's what we're working with. So I ran the crank number and it comes back to a stock 350 cast crank. It's possible that it could be milled down or whatever they call it to give more offset and increase the stroke, but I don't think it has been. I'll show a picture of the listing.
Hey folks, future editor me here. So I blurred out this guy's name and his profile picture so that nobody would be able to bother him online. For now, I'm just going to say that I don't intend to buy anything from this guy in the future, and I really hope that nobody else does either. I definitely learned a lesson in being less trusting. And even though technically everything that the guy said in the listing is true, there was definitely one key component that he either lied about or was just completely oblivious for somebody driving a race car. There was no way that the rods in this engine were not knocking like the cops. If you stick around for the next video that I'll put out in about a week, when I tear down further into this engine, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and the fact that there's no way this engine was not knocking.
When I went to go pick this up, I figured it was a 355 because he said it was 30 over and that was it. But then when I got there, right when I was leaving, the guy said the engine builder told him it was a 383, which I think, or the guy he bought it from, sorry, told him that it was a 383, and he was like, oh, I was never able to check. Well, of course it's not a 383. they would have sold it for way more money. So yes, it's a 355. I did run the pistons. They are some TRW pistons, which is a company I've never heard of. I think they might be out of business or they got bought out, because all the listings I see for them are on eBay. But these are 10.5 to 1 compression pistons, so I'm gonna have to run some 93 pump gas, which is what I ran on the other motor anyway, so no big deal there. And then the oil pump is just a Melling high volume standard pressure pump, which is perfect for a setup like this. So I think that's gonna be all for me today on the engine front. I'm gonna clean up in the garage here, get everything out of the way because the red Jeep has to come in the garage now. And also pull the green Jeep over here, park it right out there, and we can go over the paint job. Here is the paint job on the green Jeep. And I'm standing back here because this is about the distance where it looks good. If I get up closer, there's still some things that I got to do to it. Obviously, there's a lot of dust and dirt on it. See if I can block the sunlight a little bit, get some better angles. There's a lot of dust and dirt on it, but it has a good reflection. I mean, pretty good. It needs to be wet sanded. This is a good example here. Like, I can see myself, and then all these droplets are where it started raining while I was painting. So it's definitely not perfect. You can see all the orange peel that needs to be sanded out of it, but I mean, if I focus on it, I can still see myself. So for 60 bucks or 80 bucks in the garage for my first time, I'll take it. I mean, I think it's not bad. I bought 2 quarts of Rust-Oleum Hunter Green, a quart of Rust-Oleum Gloss Black. I mixed them all together with another quart of acetone, so 3 parts paint to 1 part acetone. Sprayed fine out of my Harbor Freight gun. I'm gonna have to come back through with some matte black spray cans that I just bought. There's a couple things that I want to paint black. These will be black. Gas filler situation is going to be black. All the handles are going to be black. All the locks are going to be black. The steps are going to be black. All this stuff is going to be black, 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 black. Wiper arms are going to be black. I already pulled off and painted these trim pieces. I've got to put the lights back on. I'm thinking about getting the same LEDs that I have for the red one, just because they're super bright. And then these headlights, I think they look really good, but they're not all that bright. So I have an extra grill in the garage that I think I'm going to turn into some kind of wall art. I think that'll turn out pretty well. I got to repaint the bumper. Somehow it got stained. I think I let the sanding dust get on it, and then it got wet, and now it's just a part of the bumper. So I'm going to have to repaint that. And then I also painted up the tire carrier around back. It's sitting in the basement waiting to be put on. I'm going to put everything on probably after I wet sand. But I mean, overall, like, if I take a couple steps back, and keep in mind, I did absolutely no body work. All I did was sand. Like, it looks way better. I'm really hoping, I'll put a cost breakdown in one of these videos, probably when I sell it. We can figure out how much money I make, assuming I make something off of this. But overall, I mean, it looks good. It really does. I'm happy with it. It has its imperfections. Another one that does bother me is right here on the hood. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. I got to run. And the only reason that happened is I was coming across the top with the hood open with the paint gun, and the air hose got caught on my leg, and I got stuck here. And before I stopped pulling, it made it a little bit of a run. But what are you gonna do? I think between this and I bought a carpet dye kit that's coming in the mail. Excuse all the leaves, it's been sitting outside. But I have a carpet dye kit to turn this all into some dark hunter green. I've got some gray paint coming to redo the dash, which I think is going to turn out pretty well. The only thing, I also have some dark green spray paint coming to do the door cards and the center console. And the only thing I'm missing for a perfect interior is a driver's seat. Passenger seat's perfect, back seat's perfect, driver's seat could use some love. Besides that, I'm almost ready to sell this thing. It's the expectation of my family and my girlfriend and everyone who loves me that I get something newer and safer. But I don't tell them, but I don't think that's gonna happen. There's a couple older S10s and a couple El Caminos I've had my eyes on. There's a Nova that I like that's for sale. So we'll see. Maybe something with an LS in it. If I can buy something that's already been swapped, just to get a little bit more reliability, because I've got enough carbureted junk going on. Oh, this is the top for the green Jeep. I just painted it with some Rust-Oleum rattle cans. Some of the scratches are coming back out from sitting out here in the weather, but you can't see any of them when it's on the Jeep. From the side, I mean, it looks good. And I got some half doors off of TJ that I think are in the basement. But they work really well together with the top. You just have to modify the rear pin. But yeah, I think that's all for today. That's pretty much where I stand. It's enough rambling out of me, and I'll end the video. Alrighty, I think that's all for me this week. Please like, subscribe, get me on the YouTube algorithm, because I'm probably going to have to pay this off, unfortunately. I'm going to have to recoup some of the lost costs, unless everything goes well, you know. There's a chance that I put this in the Jeep, it sounds as rowdy as the videos the guy sent me. Don't tell my dad, but he was right. We were looking at a couple crate motors that would have been like $1,000 more than this. Probably would have been the way to go. I don't need 400 plus horsepower that I'm hopefully going to get out of this. I would have been just fine with the 250 horse or 200 horse crate motor. But the thing that always sticks in my head is, like, I did all that work trying to do an engine swap and get this thing to run, and everything works. I'm just missing the engine part, the engine that can pass emissions and work, and, you know, look good and be cool, but that's besides the point. So hopefully this is the missing piece for me, and I'll be able to finish the build and get to driving it, because that's really what I want to do. Get to drive it, take it to car shows, all that kind of fun stuff. I mean, I've had this car for 7 years, and I've probably driven it a couple hundred miles at most. I never drove it in stock form. So I'm really just dying to drive it. At this point, I like the green one better, because the green one, I've been able to drive it. It looks better. They're probably worth about the same, if I had to guess. Right now, at least, if I paint the red one and do all the kind of stuff I want to it, I'm sure it would be worth more than the green one. But right now, I mean, after I finish with the green one, I'm hoping to be able to sell it for 8, 9, 10,000. Which sounds crazy even to me, but that's really what they go for, good condition Saharas. So hopefully I can get that out of it, take that money, buy something cool, keep the channel going, move from there. Yeah, that's all I've got for today. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you stick around to see what the heck's going on with my mess. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day.